Tottenham Hotspur 1, Liverpool 3. The champagne lane left in tatters last night, looking more like a vintage bottle of red wine. We are the upper tier, brought to you by the Dynamo Podcast Network. And today, this is your match reaction, joined by my red men, Craig Byrne and the DJ Keno. Guys, how we doing?
Very good. Much better than after last night.
How are you, Ken?
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. I tell you one thing, it's great to see the smiles back on Liverpool fans again, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant.
Absolutely unbelievable. It really is. Jesus Christ, what a win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely savage.
So today we're gonna go down through it today, pull apart the match a little bit, what we liked, some of the things we've seen, and then we look forward to the West Ham game then at the weekend and have a quick chat about that. And you know, a lot of dangerous players in that West Ham lineup at the moment, and they're playing really well. Moyes has them well organised. But first of all, how'd you feel about last night, Craig?
I think it was very refreshing. After, in my opinion, a blip, which other people thought which was much worse than was originally planned. Yesterday, couldn't have asked for more. After the game, I think you'd struggle to pick a man in the match, but you wouldn't say that in recent weeks either. From bottom to the start, like, we were outstanding. Didn't let Spurs play. Didn't really let them get into the game at all. Couple of breaks, but you'd expect that with the players that they have, with the quality of Kane and Son. But nobody on the pitch left, with at least an 8 out of 10. It's very satisfying, and I think kind of shades of the Man United game. We kind of seen, right, we're scoring again, so hopefully we can go one step further and get a result, in which we did.
Yeah, I think when you look at it, the one thing we've been saying on some of the podcasts that we've done is, it's only a slight tweak that we need, and that we're so close to giving a team a hiding. And to be honest with you, the 3-1 scoreline last night didn't really reflect the performance. That could have been 6 or 7-1 in fairness. Kane, what was your thinking on it last night?
Same as what Craig was saying there. Just played absolutely outstanding. Like the first 5 minutes, when Mane missed that chance, I was like, oh, here we go again now. Missing chances now. And then we seen Son going up the pitch and scored. Like, we were all fuming at that stage, but it was lucky enough that was VAR and cancelled out. But after that, literally, lads, we were all over for the whole game. Literally, we're absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, I think
Alexander Trent had a few bad games there now, but he really picked back up there last night now.
Yeah, I think the one thing you're saying last night was there was a huge level of confidence going through the team. I mean, the passing was back again. The press was back again. So all those things came good.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I suppose to have a look. Let's talk. Craig, what did you think? Hendo back in defence there. Absolutely outstanding.
Well, I'd say beforehand, and even before we start putting Fabinho back in, Henderson back in, very concerned, especially with, it's like Kane, obviously he's not really much of a target man anymore because he can drop deep and interchange with Son. I was a bit worried about Son kind of darting in behind with the pace and Trent's defensive kind of capabilities. But Henderson didn't put a foot wrong. It just shows you that about a centre-back, you don't have to have pace. More about awareness, positioning, which obviously Henderson has playing in midfield. I thought when Matip went off and Phillips came on, didn't put a foot wrong. The two of them were absolutely outstanding. They're solid. And I think, with Matip's injury, I think Phillips deserves a chance. Why not? Yeah,
absolutely. Kane, what was your thinking on it? Because when I looked at it last night, I was thinking, Hendo didn't even get too many mentions last night, because we've already said, and Craig agrees with me on this, our best form of defence is attack. There's no doubt about it.
Fully agree.
Absolutely. It really is, fully agree. He played absolutely outstanding last night. He really did. He's just so good on the ball. You see the way he just assisted Mane there for that goal last night. Just unbelievable. Such a good passer. He's just so good. He just really is. Absolutely class.
Yeah, and it's always good when you say him. Like Hendo is one of those players. He's like Milner. You can put him anywhere and he's still going to give you 100% no matter where it is.
Absolutely unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah. Kane, what did you think? Trent last night was outstanding. His confidence is back. Didn't put a foot wrong, really. You know what I mean? But the one thing I did notice last night was there was a bit more purpose to his play. He was thinking more about what needed to happen.
He really was.
That ball in for the goal to Mane was just outstanding.
Absolutely unbelievable. Trent last night, his touch, was just unbelievable. He's passing down the line. Like he really is. He improved very last night. I was seeing a different trend last night than previous beforehand. Like the last few games, he was very, very bad. Like I think he was getting a lot of criticism though, like in media and stuff like that. But like last night, we seen the real trend, and he really was just fantastic.
Yeah. What did you think, Craig?
Yeah, I kind of agree there with Keano. Fully agree. You kind of have to. I think Ian touched on it in the previous podcast as well. You have to play your way out of form to get back into form. You know, you have to kind of play through the bad period to get it back into the good period. And yesterday, especially defensively as well as position, I thought was outstanding. Going forward, he wanted to kind of drive with the ball. Wouldn't have really seen that from him in recent games. Wasn't really interested in the ball. Was kind of swinging it in, hoping something would happen. Not real purpose to the play. Yesterday, the ball, like, talk about pinpoint, and he knew where it was going, and you had no second doubt where it was going. And the finish as well, we knew that was coming the way we were playing. But I thought he was always back there beside Henderson when he was needed, which wasn't a lot. And it was great to see from a defensive standpoint. I think that bit of maybe leadership from Henderson, you know, maybe giving them a bit of a shout, just drop back in, tight with me if you need.
Absolutely.
It's going to do him the world of good, you know what I mean? And after the last few bad games, I can agree with Keane as well. I'm sure the media, and he knows it himself, are on his back. And that's the best way to silence him, put in a performance like that, and hopefully he can continue now.
Yeah, well, now we're joined by the godfather of the Dynamo Podcast Network, Ian Kelly. Ian, how you doing, man? Say hello to the boys.
How are you doing, lads? Three happy.
How you on? All good yourself?
All good, lads. Three happy Liverpool fans, I bet, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely, lads.
You done us a favour as well. I was more than happy to see you beat the dirty Tottenham.
Absolutely. One thing I noticed last night, Mo Salah last night looked like he wasn't a man who had his mind elsewhere. He looked like he was on it. Even if you look at some of the intricate passing he was playing and his movement into the box. And I think even that time when you're seeing Curtis play the ball into him, and he tried to flick it back to Curtis, it didn't come off. But you can see the thinking was back there again and trying to do something different and mix it up. Kim, what was your thoughts on Mo last night? Outstanding.
Oh, Mohamed Salah. Oh, Jesus. Absolutely class he was last night. Really was. Like, the last few games as well, he wasn't really playing great, but last night, was just unbelievable. Like even he's touching the ball, like, it's so good, like, it really is.
Yeah, last night he looked like he had gotten his touch back. The balls weren't going away from him and stuff like that. And he looked like he was really on it.
Yeah.
And really, when he's on his game, he's unplayable, you know. Craig, what do you think of Mo last night?
It was it was more like the Mo that we know. It wasn't the Mo who was running into the corner, blind alleys, very tunnel vision like in the last few games. I felt he was getting so frustrated, very one-footed, very no plan real B about cutting inside and opening up the play. And what was really nice to see that he actually passed the ball to Mane, which was really nice. Do you know what I mean? It was really refreshing to see the three lads up front yesterday were working for each other tirelessly and for the team. There was no selfishness. There was no second guessing about, is he going to play me the ball or not? The three of them, the intricate play between the three of them. And Mo, he was running at lads with a purpose last night as well. You know what I mean? He was driving at lads, and he was coming left, he was coming right. And what you touched on, Niall, as well with Curtis, he had no intention of going himself. He was looking for that return. Fortunately, it didn't work, but the fact that he was looking for it was nice, It was great to see.
Yeah, it was great to see the hunger back in the front three. Like, the three of them were really on it right from the start,
Yeah.
I think tactically we should talk about. I mean, obviously psychologically, Klopp's after doing a lot of work over the last week or so on that, because we really were. We always said it wasn't a physical thing, and the tiredness was more a psychological and a mental thing of carrying the wave of success. But the one thing I noticed, tactically last night, Milner was put, into that Fabinho role in midfield and absolutely was immense. And Thiago was pushed further up the pitch, hence giving the freedom to Bobby further up the pitch. And I think that really worked well. Kane, what did you think of that?
It was just really good. As in, Thiago last night, lads. It's just, Thiago, what a player. He really is. He's such a tough player too, really, he is such a tough player. But I thought the formation last night was, really good. The way he set out the midfield and stuff like that, Gini Wijnaldum. And Thiago really did a great job in there last night.
Yeah, it was very much set up for attacking and stuff like that.
Was,
and again, you have attack there, is your best form of defence, really. Ian, did you catch the game last night?
I did, yeah. No, it was
What's
actually
your
because
thoughts?
I was listening to Talksport, and I think I was don't know what Liverpool pundit was on. He was saying that Thiago hasn't impressed him so far because he thinks that Klopp has been possibly playing him a little bit deeper, and he tends to slow the game down because he's quite a. I know Keno said he's a tough player, but he used to be one of those kind of pep bitches, you know what I mean, that would go down when he was playing with Barca. But he does look a lot tougher now, like that few months that he's in the Premier League. But I think playing him further forward, he looked a lot more impressive, I think, because the further he is, he doesn't really have a chance to slow it down when he's playing in a deeper role. There's probably not enough around him, and he's so well drilled in that Barcelona, Bayern Munich style possession football. Whereas when he was playing further forward and they have that high press the way you guys do, probably better than anybody, to be fair. I think it really suited his game a little bit more. And obviously it benefited the front three boys as well, having someone like that. Because, I mean, his vision and his passing is just unreal. Like, and he is a hardy enough player. Like, he's quite different for a Spanish player. He's kind of very complete midfielder. Do you know what I mean? He can tackle as well. So, yeah, I think very impressed with him last night. I was probably more impressed with him last night than anyone because you expect that from Salah. I kind of knew that Salah would come good eventually. Do you know what I mean? Now I just hope Timo Werner was watching that and takes inspiration from that. But no, it's like bad times don't last, you know, with these players. Like they eventually click. They're too good to not eventually click. Like, and it's good to see Salah back and shut some of these fans from different clubs up, you know.
Absolutely.
And even from our own club.
Yeah. I'm just sick of fans moaning in general, no matter what club it is. I've had it for the last week with Chelsea. Like, just shut up, like, and move on.
Absolutely. So I suppose we should mention. Obviously, Fabinho got a bit of a tweak, and he was out last night, and he's also confirmed, I think, that he's out for Sunday as well. But disappointing again. Joel Matip picking up an injury. I seen a guy tweeting this morning saying that if you shook hands with him, the sound would be like biting into a Magnum bar. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's very unfortunate because if you look at him last night, he really boss came while he was on the pitch. I've seen that one time where he took the ball off him, and then he went across the far side as well and took the ball off Son. So like he is a very impressive defender when he's in there, but it's just he's so unfortunate with injuries. It's just whatever it is about either his makeup or. We spoke about it before, the strength of the Premiership in there. It's just wearing on those guys if they're anyway weak at all, But yeah, disappointing to pick up another injury, but obviously a great result, I suppose we should talk, let's have a quick chat about Spurs, you know what I mean? Harry Kane.
I thought Son was very quiet last night in the second half. Like, he really did nothing, really, did he? He was very quiet. Like, in the first maybe half an hour of the game, he was on top kind of thing. He was getting chances in, but like in the second half, it was just different. He was very quiet.
I think he's heavily reliant on Kane to feed him.
He really does. Yeah. He is, big time. I can't understand either. Gareth Bale, like he's not really playing. He's not really starting him. Like why is that? Or like.
My guess is he has given him a couple of games, and he's also played him in that FA Cup game as well. And to be honest with you, he's a shadow really of the player that he was. And I don't think it's not a confidence thing, you know what I mean? Because when you're seeing him bench that Real Madrid that time and he was going through that tough period, I mean, he gave as good as he got. Like it wasn't a confidence thing because he was hammering the club that he was on the bench with all the golf tweets and the videos and stuff like that. And all. But I think it's just. You don't want to be going back to the Premiership to try and rekindle yourself because it's the toughest league in the world.
I think his injuries have caught up with him personally because Gareth Bale was so reliant on pace. Do you know what I mean? That was his big. I mean, he could score a whopper goal too, but it was generally his pace that was frightening. And once the legs go, as we've seen with the likes of Torres and Shevchenko over the years, and all these players that were very reliant on pace. Especially as a forward player. I think that's really what's caught up with him. And I know he's only young, but those injuries are bad. It's the same way, Niall, you mentioned players like Azpilicueta, lads that haven't been injured, that are only 30, but they have the body of a 35-year-old because they've just been so fit. Do you know what I mean?
Mileage.
And I'd say it's the opposite with Gareth Bale. I think the legs just have gone. And I don't think, because, I mean, I don't think that's Mourinho being being Mourinho there. I think Mourinho's seen it and go, geez, I don't think there's much I can do with this lad. You know what I mean? And Gareth Bale's not going to be the guy that you have on the wing to track back either. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it looked to me when he came back in that it was like a Daniel Levy romance story. Like the prodigal son was returning.
Yeah.
More so than a Jose. Like I can't imagine Jose Mourinho saying, "Yeah, go get me Gareth Bale."
Yeah, I'd say so.
I just don't think it. Like, you know,
I'd say he'd seen Henry go back to Arsenal. You know, he'd see Zlatan going to United and then Drogba coming back and all that. I'd say he'd seen that and thought we'd do the same with Bale. But Levy, like the shrewd penny pincher that he is, made sure it was only a loan deal as well. So it's kind of smart business.
Absolutely. So touch on, like, let's have a quick talk about you know, coming up on Sunday. Big game against West Ham now, 4:30 on Sunday. Gonna be a tough game, physical side. We're away from home. Need to keep the run going now. Like this, yesterday means nothing if we fail on Sunday. So we have to keep it going. Have to keep the pressure at the top of the table. And especially with some big games coming up, like Arsenal are playing United on Saturday. So if that goes anyway skew-ways for United, there's the opportunity and the door open for Liverpool.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
So, Craig, what you're thinking? Where do you see the danger in West Ham?
It's funny because previous seasons I would have said, you know, West Ham, obviously there's still that big physicality side, but not really a footballing side as such. But now I think the transformation under Moyes, you know, they can actually play a lot more football-based stuff now. I thought Souček's been very impressive as a new signing coming into the Premier League. You know, he's bossed it, but he can also chip in with a goal. You know, he comes onto stuff late, has a knack for it. You have the delivery of Cresswell, and Antonio is going to be really difficult for anybody to mark. You know, centre-back partnership or not, you know, established or not. He can go to the wing, he can drop in, big physical presence, he can take it down, bring lads into play. Very impressed actually as well with Jared Bowen. I think he's been one of the positive notes for them as well. You know, tirelessly up and down the wing, very good work rate, can also be a threat and finish as well. And it says a lot about them now that I rated your man Jop, who doesn't even get a game, doesn't even get a look in at the moment. So I think that says a lot about them. Benarama, I think, is like a Mahrez kind of similar style player as well, starting to find his feet as well. So very skillful, very tricky. So there is danger there. So I think we can pose them a threat, but equally so, we have to be very mindful of the different aspects of the West Ham. Previously, before, it would have been, I think, nearly like a Burnley-esque kind of feel to it, physical, set piece. But now they're more, you know, football-based with a lot of dynamic players as well.
Absolutely, because I've actually seen it. I heard Steve McManaman saying it last night that he was actually at the match last night. David Moyes, he was actually looking at the game last night in the stadium. So yeah, like as you say, Craig, 100%. That's 100%. You as you said there. So we have to win. That's it. We have to win. Like
Kane, what you're thinking in terms of Liverpool? How do you think they're going to sort of line up against West Ham? Obviously, we have the problems in defence now again, so we have to figure out another new defensive partnership. What do you think defence look like?
I think Phillips actually came on there last night, didn't he? He was playing in the second half. So I think Klopp will go with the same kind of the formation and stuff. I think he will stick with the same team. I don't think he'll change much, really. I don't think he will. But I think he'll put maybe Phillips in there centre back. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, to be honest. I was looking at pictures there today from the match. Nat Phillips is a monster of a man.
He is.
I seen him there beside Thiago last night. They took a picture, and I know Thiago isn't the biggest dude in the world, but this guy was monstrous beside him. You know what I mean? And that's going to be. I think that's going to be critical because if you look at West Ham, they heavily rely on set pieces with the likes of Dawson and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's going to be really important to get a big physical guy in there to sort that kind of threat out. You know, Ian, what you're thinking on it?
West Ham, well, they're sitting in fifth, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's what I was looking at there. So I was kind of like thinking at it from a Chelsea perspective. You can tell I've been trained with Mourinho over the years. I'm thinking, right, point here, point there, which benefits us. So I suppose I'll be a bit of a Liverpool fan for the foreseeable future going forward because I don't think Chelsea, I think they're too far behind in terms of winning the league this year as well, especially with a new manager coming in. And it's all about getting the style of play down, I think is most important. And of course, getting top four. And top four is not a million miles away, to be fair. I don't think that's something that would be too out of our reach, to be honest with you, especially with yous doing us a favour with Tottenham last night. That takes one of their games in hand away. And then looking at the West Ham game, you do us a favour there. So I think Liverpool should win it. to be honest with you, coming off the back of that performance last night, there's no reason why you shouldn't.
I think we should. I think we will. That's it. I think we will grab the win on Sunday. 100%. I think we do. I think the confidence is getting back now, and we're playing very well. Like so.
Yeah.
I think the element of Thiago being pushed up, it's nearly like a cam, like a Coutinho type. Someone's moving the ball quick, fast. It frees Bobby up from coming so deep as well, which he can actually stay up in the central position up front with the three lads nearly interchanging. Thiago doesn't have to come deep and receive. We can integrate play up there, which will cause them a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I think the one thing that shocked me last night was, Spurs are normally a fairly fast and physical fit team. The one thing that shocked me was Mourinho came to play football, which really shocked me. And the other thing that shocked me was, in terms of our speed of play and passing, we made Tottenham look very stationary. They look really slow as a team. So yeah, looking ahead to West Ham, I think it's going to be much more. I think more of a physical game.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think where we have to be concerned with the front line there of Antonio and Fornells and players like that. No, it's really those guys, the Bowen and the Dawsons of this world, that we really need to keep an eye on. And especially, as you said, Craig, with Souček, like, he loves those deep runs to pick up the bits to score goals. He's really good at that. Like,
yeah.
Craig, give us a prediction for Sunday.
I think going on the back of last night and a bit of momentum going, I can definitely see goals for us. I'm gonna go 3-1 again.
Nice.
I think we might concede. Kind of touching on what you said, Niall, I fully agree. Set pieces are going to be an issue with Antonio. I can see them scoring, but I can also see us having enough about us, especially after last night, to get the job done. Hopefully a couple of more goals thrown in as well.
Excellent. Kane?
Absolutely. What Craig said is absolutely right. Like, I'm thinking of a 2-1 maybe. 2-1 Liverpool. There definitely will be goals in the game. Looking to see maybe Mane to score the first goal. And look, just 2-1 win. Be great to see us win the game on Sunday. Climb back up against them Manx again.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 4-2 because I think this game's gonna be wide open because Moyes has West Ham playing now as well, and I think we could surrender a goal or two, but I think again our best form of defence is attacking. I think we'll probably just outscore them. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. Ian, what's your thoughts?
I'm gonna go 3-0.
3-0. You're expecting a clean sheet?
Be ambitious, yeah.
Now that's 3-0 Liverpool, yeah.
Obviously, yeah. That could go either way.
I just wanted to confirm in case it goes the other way and you come on and go, look, I told you.
I'm saying nothing. I'm just saying 3-0. Yeah, you know really.
Well, lads, as always, it's been a pleasure. Great to have you on, and great with the match reaction and with the predictions. And we'll catch you all again next time. Thanks a million, lads, for coming
100%.
on. Brilliant.
Thanks so much.
See you later.
See you, lads. See you soon.
Lads.
Bye-bye.